Who is Bob Marley? 1945 Birth of Bob Marley. Robert Nesta Marley was born on the 6th of February 1945 at the farm of his maternal grandfather in 9 Mile, Sadin Parish, Jamaica to Norval Sinclair Marley. And Marley was a Jamaican singer, musician, and songwriter, and is considered as one of the pioneers of reggae. His musical career was marked by fusing elements of reggae, ska, and rocksteady, as well as his distinctive vocal and songwriting style. 1957 Marley's childhood. Bob Marley and Neville Livingston, later known as Bunny Wailer, were childhood friends in 9 Mile. They started to play music together while at Stepney Primary and Junior High School. In 1957, Marley's mother moved to Trenchtown, Kingston, with Bunny's father when Marley was 12 years old. As Marley and Livingston were living together in Trenchtown, Marley formed a vocal group with Buddy Wailer and Peter Tosh. The lineup was known as the Teenagers. 1959 helping friend Joe Higgs, who was part of the successful vocal act Higgs and Wilson, lived nearby and encouraged Marley. Marley and the others did not play any instruments at the time and were more interested in being a vocal harmony group. Higgs helped them develop their vocal harmonies and started to teach Marley how to play guitar. 1963 beginning of music career. In 1963 Bob Marley formed the band known as the Teenagers, including Buddy Wailer, Peter Tosh, Junior Braithwaite, Beverly Kelso, and Cherry Smith. They later changed the name to the Wailing Rudabows, then to the Wailing Wailers, at which point they were discovered by record producer Coxsone Dodd, and finally to the Wailers. 1960 for musical success. The Wailers single, Simmer Down, for the Coxsone label, became a Jamaican No. 1 in February 1964, selling an estimated 70,000 copies. The Wailers regularly recorded for Studio One and found themselves working with established Jamaican musicians such as Ernest Ranglin, the keyboardist Jackie Midu, and saxophonist Roland Alponso. 1966 Marley's marriage. In 1966, Marley married soul singer Rita Anderson and moved near his mother's residence in Wilmington, Delaware in the United States for a short time, during which he worked as a DuPont lab assistant and on the assembly line, and as a forklift operator at a Chrysler plant in nearby Newark under the alias Donald Marley. 1970 for solo career. The Wailers disbanded in 1974, with each of the 3 main members pursuing a solo career. Despite the breakup, Marley continued recording as Bob Marley, and his new backing band included brothers Carlton and a staunch family man Barrett on drums and bass respectively, and the I3s consisting of Judy Mode Marsha Griffiths and Marley's wife provided backing vocals. 1975 international breakthrough. In 1975 Marley had his international breakthrough with his first hit outside Jamaica, with a live version of No Woman No Cry from the live album. This was followed by his breakthrough album in the United States, Rastaman Vibration, which reached the top 50 of the Billboard Soul charts. 1976 assassination attempt. On the 3rd of December 1976, 2 days before Smile Jamaica, a free concert organized by Jamaican Prime Minister Michael Manley in attempt to ease tension between 2 warring political groups, Marley, his wife, and manager Don Taylor were wounded in an assault by a known gunman inside Marley's home. Nonetheless, the concert proceeded and an injured Marley performed is scheduled 2 days after the attempt. 1976 recovery and writing. Marley left Jamaica at the end of 1976 after a month-long recovery and writing sojourn at the site of Chris Blackwell's Compass Point Studios in Nassau, Bahamas, to recover from the injuries of assault. Later he arrived in England, where he spent 2 years in self-imposed exile. 1977 diagnosed with cancer. In July 1977, Marley was diagnosed with a type of malignant melanoma under a toenail, which was a symptom of already existing cancer. The diagnosis was confirmed as a crawl lentiginous melanoma. Marley rejected his doctor's advice to have his toe amputated, citing his religious beliefs, and instead, the nail and nail bed were removed and a skin graft was taken from his thigh to cover the area. Despite his illness, he continued touring and was in the process of scheduling a 1980 world tour. 1978 awarded Peace Medal. Peace Medal of the Third World was given to Bob Marley at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City on Thursday, June 15, 1978, by the United Nations. Bob Marley earned this distinction for his courageous work appealing for justice and peace during a time of great political unrest and unprecedented violence in the streets of Kingston, Jamaica. 1979. Africa Unite, Survival, a defiant and politically charged album, was released in 1979. Tracks such as Zimbabwe, Africa Unite, Wake Up and Live, and Survival reflected Marley's support for the struggles of Africans. His appearance at the Amanla Festival in Boston in July 1979 showed his strong opposition to South African apartheid, which he already had shown in his song War in 1976. 1980. Final album Man Tour. Uprising was Bob Marley's final studio album, and it is one of his most religious productions, which includes Redemption Song and Forever Loving Ya. The album Uprising was released in May 1980. The band completed a major tour of Europe, where it played its biggest concert to 100,000 people in Milan, Italy. 1980. Declining health. After the Europe tour, Marley went to the United States, where he performed two shows at Madison Square Garden in New York City as part of the Uprising tour. He collapsed while jogging in Central Park and was taken to the hospital, where it was found that his cancer had spread to his brain, lungs, and liver. 1990 Last concert. Marley's last concert took place 2 days later at the Stanley Theater in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on the 23rd of September 1980. Shortly after the last concert, Marley's health deteriorated as his cancer spread throughout his body. The rest of the tour was cancelled, and Marley sought treatment at the clinic of Joseph Issels in Bavaria, Germany. 1990 Religion. Bob Marley was a member for some years of the Rastafari movement, whose culture was a key element in the development of reggae. He became an ardent proponent of Rastafari after he converted to the Rastafari faith from Catholicism in 1966. Later, Archbishop of Buda Yesahak baptized Marley into the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, giving him the name Burhain Selassie on the 4th of November 1980, shortly before his death. 1981 Last days. After 8 months of failing to effectively treat his advancing cancer, Marley boarded a plane for his home in Jamaica. During the flight, Marley's vital functions worsened. After landing in Miami, Florida, he was taken to Cedars of Lebanon Hospital for immediate medical attention, where he died on the 11th of May 1981, age 36, due to the spread of melanoma to his lungs and brain. His final words to his son Ziggy were, "Money can't buy life." 1981. Funeral. Marley was given a state funeral in Jamaica on the 21st of May 1981 that combined elements of Ethiopian Orthodoxy and Rastafari tradition. He was buried in a chapel near his birthplace with his guitar. Jamaican Prime Minister Edward Seagat delivered the final funeral eulogy to Marley. 2001. Rebel Music: The Bob Marley Story. A feature-length documentary about Marley's life titled Rebel Music: The Bob Marley Story was released in 2001. The film was made with contributions from Rita, the Wailers, and Marley's lovers and children. And it also tells much of the story in Marley's own words. "Are you a rich man? What do you mean rich? What do you mean? You have a lot of possessions, a lot of money in the bank. Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life, forever."